Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be taking just a really quick look at Delta's stock, and I'm actually taking a look at several of the airline stocks right now on my channel if you want to come check that out, because they have been really popular and well talked about in the last couple of months with them being so affected by everything that's going on right now. But that can definitely present some really good buying opportunities for those who are wanting to invest in the market right now. Now taking a quick look at Delta, ticker symbol DAL, they were up above $62 at their peak at the beginning of the year, and then they went down all the way to $19 at their lowest point. I could be wrong about this because I have not looked at all of the public airline stocks out there, but I believe American Airlines is the only one that has been hit harder out of the major airlines because Delta did go down to about a third of its previous high. Now, just looking at this overview of their financials for the last 4 years, they have been able to steadily increase revenues for the last 4 years, and earnings have been relatively steady. And as I've said with the other airlines, revenues are going to see a major decrease because they are doing so few bookings right now, and then even moving forward into future months, a lot of people are going to be weary of traveling. So not a good outlook for at least the next 2 quarters. Now I'm going to take a look at a few positive points and negative points from an analyst at Morningstar. And starting off, we have that Delta's strategy of operating an older fleet keeps a lid on depreciation expenses. This is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It is obviously great to have lower depreciation expenses, but to some degree, customers do appreciate having newer planes. They may not care about how the plane is working mechanically, really at all, but they do appreciate having the newer and improved cabins. And because of some of their lowest costs, they are able to have best-in-class margins among some of the biggest network carriers. And then just taking a look at this last positive point, Delta should be able to extract value from its international joint ventures, enabling access to Asia, Latin America, and Europe markets more effectively than its peers. And I wish I knew a little bit more about this, but I'm sure this is having a really good effect on their brand image as well as revenues, that they're able to extract a lot out of those international joint ventures compared to their biggest competitors. And then I also wanted to take a look at a couple of negative points for Delta, even though I've kind of already pointed some of them out. But the first one is it could take years for Delta to recover from the economic carnage caused by all that's going on right now. And that's not just a couple quarters, they're saying years. And I think JetBlue and Southwest, for example, they're in a better position to bounce back from having such decreased revenues for this short period of time, whereas Delta and American Airlines are not quite as lucky. And if they aren't able to kind of get their brand image back to where it was within the next couple of quarters, I think they're going to be in big trouble. And then just that second point kind of adds on to that, Delta and other U.S. carriers could continue to bid away their profits. So what this means is that the airlines desperately want to book passengers, so they're going to try and bid the lowest price to get passengers, but then they're getting rid of their margins and they're not really making any profit. So they're all really aggressively competing against each other, even though they can't really afford to do so. I would say Delta is not in the worst situation. I would say American Airlines does have it the worst right now, just because they do have so much debt that they're not really going to be able to recover from. But this is kind of interesting because Delta and American are the two biggest airlines, or two of the biggest at least, and they are in major trouble. So this is going to give some other airlines a lot of room to take market share. And on the off chance that American or Delta do end up going bankrupt, a year from now or whatever, it will really remain to be seen what does happen to the other airlines. But I would say if Delta does go bankrupt, then American will be able to recover, and vice versa, just because they are such heavy competitors with one another. That video is probably a little bit more about the industry than specific to Delta, but I do hope you're still able to get some useful information out of it. And as I said, I am doing some videos on some other airline stocks, so please come check those out and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching.